Hey folks, Jon Miller here to talk about Iowa basketball commitment. Anthony Hubbard, he committed to Fran McCaffery in the University of Iowa on April the 23rd in the morning Central Time, and the Hawkeye Nation message boards were certainly abuzz with excited fans. But with Hubbard's commitment, there's going to be continuing questions being asked by not only Iowa fans and folks in the media, but really everybody surrounded with this program. And that question obviously dates back to Anthony Hubbard's past. When he was 18 years old, he was involved with a robbery. He served 3 years and 11 months in prison for his role in that robbery, which he says was basically manning the getaway car while 2 or 3 accomplices went into a house, robbed an elderly gentleman. I believe it was a very ugly scene in the home. Hubbard was somebody who was out in the car, but he served 3 years and 11 months in prison. Beginning at the age of 18. He's 26 right now. For the last 2 years in junior college, he's been a B student, 3.2 grade point average at the JUCO level. This last year on the basketball court, he was a junior college All-American, averaging roughly 21 points per game and nearly 11 rebounds per game, did Hubbard this past year. He can get to the rim. He's an explosive, athletic player. He's a strong player. I mean, you're 26 years old. You're nearing your physical peak as a man. You know, he might be 2-3 years away from it, but he's a lot closer than say a 17-year-old Devin Marble was when he played for Iowa this past fall. This guy is a man. He's not going to be intimidated by the road in the Big Ten. He's not going to be intimidated by taunting crowds in the Big Ten. He's not going to be intimidated by physical play. 6'5", about 220 pounds. You're looking at a guy that can rebound for you, and as I said earlier, he can get to the rim off the dribble, and that's something that Iowa lacked on the whole as a team last year, with really just Bryce Cartwright being the consistent player capable of doing that. Devin Marble probably can in the future when he gets stronger. Eric May is just somebody who lacked consistency and confidence last year, so he had a difficult time in doing that. Hubbard is going to take some pressure off Melson Basabi on the other side of him. By the way, I mean, Anthony Hubbard at the junior college level shot well over 200 free throws last year. Problem is, he only made 61% of them, so he needs to work on that. He's not a three-point shooter. He's not a consistent outside threat, or at least he hasn't had to be that at the junior college level. Fran McCaffery, Iowa head coach, saying he can play any number of positions for you, including the point guard. So he's got handles. He had over 100 assists last year for his team. His assist total would have been second on Iowa behind Bryce Cartwright. He shot a lot of times for his team, and he made 65% of them. And again, around the rim, getting to the rim. So if Anthony Hubbard was an above average to good junior college basketball player, we likely wouldn't be having a conversation about him right now with regards to being an Iowa commitment. Iowa needs talent, better talent than that. Hubbard is a very good basketball player. One of the reasons why he was available for Iowa to get at this particular point in time, let's not mince words, was because of his felonious past. But again, it's a past. Iowa has done their due diligence. They feel comfortable. They have done enough of it. They feel that Hubbard has changed, has earned a second chance, at least under their roof, the way that he did at his junior college. All accounts are he's turned his life around. The time in prison, the time shortly after prison, where he saw that he didn't have many options, served as a wake-up call for him. In the story, the examples of young people that go to prison, come out, find nothing outside the walls of prison to their liking, or they don't feel like they fit in and they wind up back in prison. The stories of those individuals are legion. Really, Anthony Hubbard is somewhat of a unique story in that he's at a Big Ten university, or will be next year, having had a second chance. It's interesting. It will be interesting to watch and see what he does with it. If he stays, if he walks the line off the court the way that he has since he's been released from prison, and he produces on the court the way that I think he can, the way that basketball scout talent experts think he can, the way that the Iowa coaching staff thinks he can, if he produces like that and he walks the straight and narrow in social aspects and as a student at the University of Iowa, we could look back on the verbal commitment and signing, as he signed the letter of intent on the 23rd for the Hawkeyes. We could look back on this as one of the potential watershed moments for Fran McCaffery getting the Iowa basketball program turned around. I'm a big second chance person. I've needed a number of second chances in my life, and I know that I will again. And I've been blessed to be around people that have given me the grace to provide a second chance. And I'd like to think that I've done well with those second chances, at least by their eyes. I've given second chances in my life, and I will again. There have been times where I've been burned, even recently, somewhat publicly, burned by giving someone the benefit of the doubt of a second chance. Sometimes that does come back to bite you, but sometimes it doesn't, and it's worth the second chance opportunities that you give to people, as long as you don't, there's no second chance going to be given to somebody that the coaching staff or the university feels is going to come into campus and be anywhere near a threat to go back and be an offender when you're amongst the student population. This basketball program right now is about a second chance. They want Iowa fans to give them another chance to earn their business, to come back to Carver Hawkeye Arena. And Fran McCaffrey is a head coach who throughout his entire career has been a second chance head coach, because he's taken 3 programs, rebuilt them entirely, and taken them to the NCAA tournament. He hopes that Iowa is his 4th. So all of these second chances will be interesting to monitor. And if Hubbard walks the straight and narrow and he produces on the court the way that we think that he can, he's going to free up some time for a space for Matt Gatens. We'll free up some space for Oglesby, who will come in next year and be a 3-point shooting specialist. Melson Basabi isn't going to be so besieged next year as a known commodity. Bryce Cartwright probably going to find the lane a little bit easier to drive. A player like Hubbard, with his ability to do the things that he can do, getting to the rim, breaking you down off the dribble, be a good defender, get some backboards, that's a huge impact for a program that needed a huge impact player in these areas. Anthony Hubbard will be that on the court. Off the court, let's hope that his past is truly behind him. And I guess as for right now, I trust the Iowa coaching staff and university have done plenty of due diligence on this individual. Welcome him in to the Iowa basketball program. Look forward to seeing him play. The excitement for Iowa basketball on the HawkeyeNation.com message boards right now, it's at a fever pitch. Iowa fans really want this program to come back to where it was before Steve Alford took it over, the Lute Olson, George Raveling, Tom Davis years. Everybody wants to give it a second chance. Hey, it's the Easter season. We're all about second chances and opportunities. That's it for this special recruiting edition of Hawkeye Nation TV. We'll talk to you soon with some pigskin.